Welcome back to Kris versus Everybody. This is the show that I do every week where I talk about anything and everything unedited, uncensored. I'm just going to get right into it. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please follow the podcast by pressing that follow button. That way you'll never miss an episode. And you don't want to miss this one because I'm about to go in. Why do some white people think that white people are Native Americans? Why? This is the conversation where I just don't even care. Like, I don't care who I offend on this episode. If you have white skin, you are not a Native American. Your people did not come from here. Your people came from Europe. Your people came from the land of Caucasus. Your people came from Germany, England, Spain, Portugal, Germany. I already said Germany. Italy, Lithuania, Romania, Belarus, Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Russia, Norway, Russia, Ukraine. Did I miss any countries? Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, France, Poland, Hungary, Austria, Switzerland, Albania. Don't say that you're Native American. That is literally that's just wrong. Why do y'all think that y'all why do white people think that they're Native Americans? I don't. You ever be in a conversation and someone just drops something so wild you just gotta pause like, did you just say that? Yeah, one of those moments is when someone claims that white people are Native Americans. Now look, before we even get into it, let's just say that this isn't about attacking anybody. This is about the truth, facts, and more importantly, it's about respecting history and the people who lived it. Because history isn't something you just remix based on how you feel, it's an objective record. When we start rewriting it without facts, we don't just get things wrong, we erase people. So let's break this down real simple. So the people who just said this, it's the reason I'm making this episode, can actually like understand and get something from someone who just doesn't like. I'm really mad right now that I have to say this on this podcast, but Native Americans, also called indigenous peoples, are the original inhabitants of this land long before European contact. We're talking about thousands of years ago. Entire civilizations, languages, cultures, governance systems, all here before anybody from Europe even knew this continent existed. Then skip forward 1,000 years or so. Europeans explore. That's why they were called explorers. They were exploring the land beyond Europe. And they quote unquote discovered these lands. And then they colonized them. The Spanish, the French, the British. And yes, they are largely white Europeans. That's not opinion. That is documented history. So when someone says whites are Native Americans, you have to ask, what do you mean by that? Then there's the history piece. And this is where things get uncomfortable for some people. The truth is that Native Americans didn't just coexist peacefully with these European settlers. There was displacement, there was violence, there was broken treaties, Events like Trail of Tears weren't misunderstandings, they were intentional policies. There were actual laws presidents passed and Congress passed back in the day to eradicate the native population. So when someone claims whites are Native Americans, it doesn't sound incorrect. It sounds dismissive of history that shouldn't be forgotten. Now, let me be real with you guys. A lot of times when people say this, they're not trying to make a serious historical argument. They're just reacting to something. Maybe conversations about race, maybe discomfort with the idea of colonization, maybe even trying to say, hey, we're all from here now. And I get the sentiment of wanting unity. I do. But unity built on inaccurate history? Being born in America doesn't make you a Native American. Native Americans are indigenous peoples. People of European descent became Americans through immigration, colonization, not because they were the original inhabitants of the land. Now, here's a bigger point that I really want to leave with you guys before I get out of here. We live in a time where information is everywhere, like literally everywhere. The truth still matters. You don't have to twist history to feel like you belong. You don't have to rewrite someone else's story to validate your own. America is a shared space now, yes, but it didn't start that way. And acknowledging that doesn't divide us. It actually gives us a chance to understand each other better. We owe it to the people who came before us to get it right. And that's another episode of Kris versus Everybody. Please read your history books. See y'all next time.